So as we've seen, it looks like tonight the report says that the president, Andry Rajoelina, is effectively isolated and is being barricaded in the capital with his loyal bodyguards. And the prime minister is doing everything possible to calm the situation down. I think what has really made it very difficult nowadays is that since the Confederation of the Sahel states, a lot of people now realize that leaders are supposed to be there to lead the people effectively. So when a leader is not leading the people effectively, that becomes an issue. So the bar has really been raised high by the Sahel states, which is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And in a way, I think we thank God for this confederation because it just shows that Africa can do it. They've done a lot of things since they departed from the ECOWAS. They've boosted their economies. They've kicked out the French, and we will keep saying this. They've done all sorts of things, and this time they seem to be standing on their own 2 feet. They've done a lot of developmental projects. They've come up with an investment bank. They've built roads, clinics, and everything. And so the standards of the people within the Sahel states are slowly improving for the better. So when people see that and you see your leaders are not doing anything, then obviously there's going to be a big problem with that. So such moments, these are moments that echoes beyond Madagascar, because every time an African army refuses to oppress its own citizens, just fear. Just know that there is a bit of a problem there. Governments need to always watch themselves out and ensure that indeed they are there to serve the people. So we'll keep the story rolling and we'll see what's really happening in Madagascar. So see you later.
Sambo was appointed as Madagascar's new Prime Minister on Monday. This comes a week after President Andry Rajoelina dissolved the government in response to ongoing protests over power and water shortages. Sambo replaces Christian Nessay, who was dismissed by the president. Rajoelina said the country needed a, quote, prime minister capable of restoring order and the people's trust. He added that Zafi Sambo's top priority would be to restore the supply of electricity and water. Earlier in the day, protesters had returned to the streets of the African island nation for a third week of anti-government demonstrations. Police retaliated by firing tear gas to disperse the crowd, many of whom were university students who had also aired broader grievances against the government in protests last month. Some protesters are now demanding that the president himself resign. Inspired by similar Gen Z marches in Kenya and Nepal, the protests are the largest wave of unrest in recent years, voicing their dissatisfaction with rampant poverty and high-level corruption. A spokesperson for Rajolina's office told Reuters over the weekend that the protest movement was being exploited by political actors who are seeking to destabilize the country. According to the United Nations, at least 22 people were killed and over 100 injured in the initial days of the protests, figures the government disputes.